What's going on, y'all? Psych Perspectives, GL Fucks, and I'm talking about toxic black mothers, toxic black fathers, toxic black men, women, people, beings, okay? Especially parents and parental figures, guardians, if you will, the people that are supposed to be, taking care of you and looking out for you when you're underage, and just your family, and period. So, yesterday, well, we've known for years, okay, the issues with my mom. And I'm going to preference with saying, I love my mom. I love my grandmother. That's all I, essentially have in life is, my mom, my grandmother, and my uncle. Rest in peace, Papa. So, I love them. I do. But as you grow older and, I've been in counseling for, for 8 months now. Been in counseling for 8 months. And you're going through therapy and you're healing and unlearning toxic stuff and dysfunctional behaviors that you even possibly participate in. Because again, we are products of our environment to a major extent. So a lot of us behave and act the way we do because that's what we were shown as children. Hence why, and I'm going to say it, this is why a lot of black people, I'm going to be honest, this is why so many of us are dysfunctional, because we grew up in dysfunctional households, dysfunctional environments, period. So it's not surprising that so many of us think throwing shade and being condescending and talking behind other people's back and lying and straight up being a manipulator is the norm, because that's what we grew up with. I'm also going to preference with, yes, I get it. Other races of people do the same thing. But here's the thing. I'm not other races of people. So I'm not going to be talking about what white people do, Hispanics and Latinos do, Asians do. I'm going to be talking about what I have seen as a black person growing up in a black family around black people. So miss me, but with the but white people and but other people, I don't care what other people are doing. I'm talking about my lived experience. Damn. Anyways. So, moving forward. So, my mom has been a manipulator, a user, but it's not surprising when I sit down and look at her upbringing. Like, again, everybody is a product of their environment to a major extent. And this is why I'm so critical of black people who have kids, because it's like, why is your dysfunctional ass having children? What's the point? What's the purpose? So you can raise another generation of dysfunctional people? Because that seems to be what we do. We repeat the same cycles. Y'all know you don't have your life together. The person you're talking to doesn't have their life together. But you think it's okay for you to go and procreate? What's the purpose? But that's a whole nother video. So, I sit down and I look at things. My mom is a user. She will literally bleed you dry. Whether it's money, gifts, time, affection, whatever. She's going to bleed you dry. She's going to use you up till she can't use you no more. And then she's going to bounce to the next person. AKA narcissistic, because this is what they do. Okay, you are literally a means to an end with them, including their own children, their own families, their own friends. Everybody is a source of supply for them, okay? They'll have you around as long as they can get what they can get out of you. The minute you no longer can provide them with resources or supply, then guess what? You get kicked to the curb. You get ignored. You get discarded, okay? Which also brings me to when I look at the type of people that I found myself being attracted to and trying to talk to or work with or be in a relationship with or see where things could go with, a lot of the people that I was attracted to in many ways reminded me of my mother, right? It's like I'm constantly giving and giving and giving. They're constantly taking and taking and taking, because that's the type of relationships that I saw as a child growing up. This is why it is so, so important, especially in the Black community, that we start taking mental health seriously. A lot of us need to be in counseling and therapy, and some of us need to be on medication. I'm going to keep saying that, because when you start looking at the choices of people that many of us waste our time dealing with, yeah, the reason why is more than likely, your parents, you date what your parents are, basically. Because that's all you know. That was your model. That was your role model. So that's who you go for, unfortunately. And it's not to say that you can't unlearn, because I've been unlearning shit for a year now, okay? And been in counseling for 8 months. You can unlearn it. Trust me. It's going to take time. It's going to take effort. You're going to have to hold yourself accountable, and you're going to have to do the work, but it can be done. So, the only time, and then keep in mind, my mom is essentially a deadbeat, okay? Because she wasn't really there, and she didn't really take care of me. Think about it. I'm 27, and I only spent 3 years of my life with her, okay? 3 years of my life was with her, and that was 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, 2001 to 2004. Those were the only 3 years my mom had sole custody of me. So my grandparents took care of me all the other years, before and after. Like I said, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. The other years I was with my grandparents. And my mom has a lot of mental health issues of her own. Like I said, she also went through a lot of unnecessary trauma and just straight up toxic and dysfunction. And this is why, again, I'm so critical of us. Because it's like, why do y'all have kids knowing you cannot provide for them in the way that they need to be provided for? Why do y'all go and get in relationships with people who ain't shit, and you knew they wasn't shit before you got with them? Okay, the red flag, that's why I'm so big on red flags. You have to pay attention. We cannot afford to continue to get with Rays and Daniquas and Stevens and Angelas and all these people that are constantly trash, and then you keep procreating with trash and wondering why our communities and families are trash. Damn, at what point do you look in the mirror and realize a lot of this is on you? So anyways, my mom is a user, certifiable user. She will do any and everything to get what she needs out of you. She knows how to play nice. All of a sudden, she loves you. She's texting you, trying to check up on you. All of a sudden, she's acting like a mother. And most of the time when she's being nice and loving and caring, it's because she's trying to get something out of you. She wants something. She needs something. Like I said, my mom, like last week, I work 40 minutes away from where I live. My mom stays 25 to 30 minutes away from where I live. So she hits me up talking about some, hey, I need gas money. Now keep in mind, I had just spent the Saturday with her, which she used me Saturday. I ordered the pizza. I brought her the marijuana that she wanted. Why didn't you ask for gas money then? I don't know. We know why, because you play all these mind games. You play all these games. You use. And then, if you notice too, with my mom and with other narcissistic people and toxic manipulators, they don't really have friends, and it makes sense, because people are going to get sick and tired. Eventually, people get sick and tired of you using them, of you doing them dirty, of you mistreating them. Eventually, people catch on to your shadiness. So I've noticed my mom's friends, she will be really good friends with a person for a couple of weeks, couple of months, and then after a while, you will never see that person again, and you will never hear her bring them up again, because they got tired of dealing with her using manipulative ass. And that's kind of where I'm at now, because I had cut my mom off last year. I want to say around April, I was like, I'm good on you, and I didn't really deal with her again until September. you know, because I was tired of it. And I'm kind of getting back to that stage where it's like, okay, you know, all you do is use. She gonna send me a text last night with some talking about some I love you, da 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 da, followed by this is what just to give you a heads up, this is what I'm thinking about, what I want. And I'm like, and it was something about Prince, because she loves Prince. She's always loved Prince my entire life. But she'll be sitting up saying, this is what I want, and it's about $70. And I'm thinking, first of all, Christmas and Kwanzaa just passed. You're not getting shit. Okay? You're not getting a damn thing. And that's what I'm talking about. The only reason you hit me up, the only reason you talk to me is because you want or need something. It is never a meaningful relationship. I've never been able to just talk to you without you asking for money or expecting me to drive you here or to pick you up something. And it is so annoying. And that's what I mean by you cannot have meaningful relationships with narcissists. You cannot have meaningful relationships with toxic, manipulative people. You know, this is why people say, hey, some folks you have to love from a distance because you can't be around them every day. You can't deal with it because they see you as a source of supply. They don't see you as an individual. They don't care about your emotions or your feelings. You are there to serve them. Trust me, there will be more videos in the future. Stay tuned.